What up, you guys? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. It's me, Rich, your anti-fascist comic book nerd, curating comics for your empowerment as well as enjoyment. And we're still reading through Oink, and we're on chapter 2, Oink, Heaven's Butcher. And so let's go ahead and jump into this now. So here we go. We are on chapter 2, which is called Lies. The chapter begins by saying heaven, the paradise where angels dwell. And these are the angels. And they're this new, different, like hybrid Frankenstein creatures that were also created by the tyrant of this area just to serve a purpose. And that purpose is to find runaway pigs, right, that have ultimately absconded their duties as the servants and slaves. And so obviously a very clear message of like slave catchers and like how much of a piece of shit they are. And there's obviously an obvious parallel to this as well. But this is the piece of shit tyrant right here. He is some sort of archbishop because in this universe, like a lot of this tyranny is rooted and related to religion. That's why even the villains, right, like the most like horrible people have a halo around them. Because the idea is that they're just bullshitting and lying and turning truth on itself. But here we find Oink, right? He's like, either I be lost or heaven be lost. He's hiding, he's chilling, right? Boom, gets cracked. Look at that panel. Fire. And of course you got some people trying to get some money because they're paying them money also for any runaway pigs. Oink ain't playing that shit, and this is why they call him Heaven's Butcher, because this kingdom is called Heaven. And so homeboy just starts letting them have it. Oink's never seen a gun used because they haven't used them on them. But here you are, just more action, right? Homeboy's like, oh shit, I'm about to die. And he's like, you will answer me, where be heaven? He's like, this is it, you're in heaven. Where be the angels? I am worthy, I will tell them. He's like, ain't no angels, this is it. Oink's like, lies. Picks up the boom boom stick, right? And here are the angels. That's the sound of angels, boy. We've been looking for you. Angels of mercy, we're both dead now, piggy, run. Again, going back to that point of like, in a fascist system, it's like there's a hierarchy, a caste system. And this human knew that he was below the angels, right? Like, so he's low on the totem pole and they're expendable. And this to me is obviously the obvious parallel of like some people, they identify with the system, with fascism, until fascism reminds them that they don't matter, that they're just another cog, they're another tool, they're just another branch. And this is how they end up, right? They end up getting their asses got because fascism doesn't give a shit about you. The only thing that fascism cares about is consolidating and holding power. But after that, you get this dope-ass chase scene, which I love because they think it's going to be an easy kill. This reminds me of like Leon the Professional. And the homeboy's just like, fuck. I love this whole 2-page spread. The layouts on his fire. He's just like, on the door, right? Angels of Mercy. I remember the warden screaming in my head. He say the good one sends them. He say they be immortal angels. I say it'd be a lie. Boom, 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 bam. Kill shot, bam. Just letting them have it, going at it with them. But he knows obviously he's kind of being overpowered. Runs away, gets away. I love this part, right? The wardens say they be immortal. I say no. Fire. And after this, he goes into like a little monologue about how Spigot was right. But he wakes up, he's in this area where there's a man with the mouth sewed shut. Doesn't understand what's going on, but rather they took off this tracking device that's implanted into all the pig people. And here comes this lady, and she basically tells them her name is Mary, and they sewed her eyes shut. She has no eyes, and she begins to tell them what this universe is like and what it really is. This is our home. Live here with my grandson Herbert. It's the second day of the month. Did you know that? They even have names for these months, although I can't recall them. 30 mornings and then it's a new month, but sometimes there's one extra morning and that always confused me. They are forgotten things from long ago, small but powerful ideas that everyone used to understand. Like this gadget here, it's called a lighter. No one in heaven would remember that, but I remember, and I'll never forget as hard as they make it. Of course you don't. None of us do really either. Oh, how it ever came to this, I will never understand. Too many gods, too many different ideas, so they all fought it out. My guess. Who won? It's hard to say. Whoever it was, they sure made a mess of things. Not what Oink, but who? A man named Cardinal Bakar. He began these experiments, took science and his warped ideology and created your kind. Scientific insanity was the nature of your birth. My dear, I am so sorry. How do I tell you this? Your birth had little to do with the natural way of things. If Cardinal Bakar's scientists had not meddled with nature, you would have been a man like any other man. You were created in a hellish place called the birthing factory. Bakar's dark science melded humans with swinekind for the purpose of creating slaves to work in the slaughterhouse. Few wanted to believe the truth. We have been there, we have seen. That is why my eyes were taken and poor Herbert's tongue. But Bakar could not silence us or blind us from the truth. We gave them the power, Oink. We let them kick the branches from the tree to our knowledge, one by one until we became as we are today, deaf, numb, and blind, with no power or will to fix any of it. And that's the truth. Like, the less we participate in what's going on, the more we're giving them the power to take our rights, our liberties, to silence us, to rewrite what history is, right? Going back to why we do this anti-fascist comic book reading is because we need to be able to call it what it is when we see it. But more and more, as people are going to become indoctrinated, they're not going to know the rights and liberties that they've lost because they were born already with them gone. And that's the point. Like, that's why we always have to advocate and communicate. And that's what we try to do here. But after that, she's like, hey, you know what, man? You're kind of having a lot of info dump, man. And I'm sure it's a lot for you to take. So she tells Herbert, her grandson, like, take him for a stroll. You know, let him process everything that I'm telling them, right? And so they go and they look at everything. And on the way back, they find Mary's dead. They killed her. And so then he tells them, Herbert, can you show Oink where he was born? Because he's going on a rampage. He's going on a mission. And Herbert had no one else but his grandma. So homeboy Herbert's also going on a mission. Chapter 3, Pigs. That's where we're going to pick up tomorrow, you guys. Again, definitely digging these anti-fascist comic book readings. I'm having fun reading these. And definitely enjoy Oink by John Mueller. And if you guys haven't heard of this title, I'm glad to present it to you guys. And tomorrow we'll finish this book up with chapter 3. Beyond that, you guys, as always, it's me, Rich, your anti-fascist comic book nerd, carrying comics for your empowerment and enjoyment. Please like, share, subscribe, and guess what? I do this shit daily, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Lates.